Hey guys! Come on, stay there. I'm in the park taking a walk with my daughter right now, and I thought it would be pretty cool to make a video here in a beautiful day like this. Many people have asked me where they should start if they want to be more serious about learning English. So in this video, I'll be telling you what you should focus more at the beginning of your English learning journey. And I'll be speaking English so you guys can practice listening at the same time. My short answer to the question is that you should start with speaking, focusing on pronunciation first, after that vocabulary and grammar. Pronunciation is just a skill, like other skills such as learning how to use a chopstick or learning how to play ping pong. It will only take you about a couple weeks to a few months to be good at it, compared to vocabulary or grammar. These can take you years to study. And at the end of the day, you only need to know how to use simple present and simple past tense with about 2,000 words to be able to communicate okay in English. Now let me tell you a few reasons why you should start with pronunciation. You see that children, doesn't matter where they are, learn a language by imitating sounds. They start with pronouncing simple sounds like che, then individual words like mama, daddy, then short sentences and long sentences. A 5-year-old child in America can speak English better than a lot of Vietnamese adults who have learned English for years and they don't even know what grammar is. Why? Why? Because they have been trained using a technique called repetition with correction. Basically, they just repeat the sounds they hear while someone helps them correct their mistakes. The process is repeated so many times until it becomes a habit or a conditioned response. This is the process your parents used to train you to speak Vietnamese or to brush your teeth, and you're using it to train your kids or your siblings. You just don't realize it. So pronunciation is the foundation, and you should focus on it when you start to learn English. I'll tell you a story that happened to me 10 years ago when I was a student in Vietnam. So I met this foreigner on the street one day, and just like a habit, I greeted him like this. Good morning, how are you today? And to my surprise, he stopped and asked me, wow, your English is good. Are you from here? Where did you learn your English? Well, apparently, he didn't know me. He didn't know if my vocabulary was good, if my grammar was good, if my writing was good. Those didn't matter to him, but the way I sounded. And it's true, people will quickly judge you by the way you speak. If your pronunciation is good, they will think that your English is good too. Being good at pronunciation will make you feel more confident, more motivated to learn English. Do you know that almost 60% of English learners drop down because they lost motivation or because they did not see quick improvements? You will see quick improvements if you start off with pronunciation. I guarantee you. Another reason why you should focus on improving your pronunciation is that people will not understand you if you don't pronounce correctly. Even when you sound okay, but if you have a strong accent, like a lot of Indians, Chinese and Vietnamese, they will have a hard time understanding you. And when they have to struggle to understand what you say, they will want to avoid you as much as they can. This is so true in America, for example. When a group of Americans talks to each other, they sound relaxed and natural. But if an international student joins the conversation tends to be slowed down and tense and a little bit awkward. This mostly because of the way the international student speaks. This is not to say that Americans are racist, but because they're not comfortable talking to you, they will not let you blend into their society. So if you feel left out, you should probably double check the way you speak. Some people told me they will focus on grammar and vocabulary, and they will improve their pronunciation when they go abroad to study. Well, let me tell you this. The minute you step on another country, you will change from a learning mode to an operational mode. Meaning, you're not gonna have enough time to study English anymore, but you will just use whatever you have. You'll be busy learning the culture, doing homework, hanging out, drinking with friends, I know people here who have been in the US for 10 or 20 years and they just sound exactly the way they did back in Vietnam. So if you're not sounding good right now, you probably will never. Trust me. Some of my students asked me why they had studied really hard, but they just couldn't get from 6 to 6.5 in IELTS. Well, these exams like IELTS and TOEFL test for 4 basic skills, including listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And pronunciation is the foundation for listening and speaking. If you cannot get any higher scores, no matter how hard you've tried, that means that your foundation has a problem. It's just like building a house. If the base of the house is not solid enough, you can only build it up to a certain height, let's say 2 stories. If you want 1 more story, what should you do? Instead of pushing it up, you have to go back and make sure the base is stronger. Just like in IELTS, if you're stuck at a skill, go back and fix the foundation of that skill. You see improvements that you cannot imagine. Okay, so I think I have given you pretty good reason to be more serious with learning pronunciation, right? In future videos, I will show you how you should study to make quick progress in a short period of time. So subscribe and stay tuned. Also, if you want to test your speaking ability for free, fill in the form in the description and I'll be in touch. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Eh? It's a geese. 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 Con nói đi, Cám ơi. Geese. Geese. Geese.